Good afternoon. This is Senator Karen McConnaughay from the state capitol. It's February 15th. We just finished listening to the governor give his budget address, laying out a pathway for the future of Illinois. Sadly, as many people know, we've been without a budget here in the state capitol for the state of Illinois for the last 2 years. And today, the governor got very, very specific and gave very specific parameters and directions to the General Assembly about how we can go about getting to a budget that's fair to all people of Illinois. Every budget discussion, I invite somebody from the district to come down, listen to the speech, and tell me a little bit about what they thought about what they heard today. And I try to pick somebody and to pick individuals who work in local government back home, because they frequently have the responsibility to administer the programs and the services that we budget for here in the state. So, joining me today, two individuals from the education community. Ladies, what'd you think about today?
Okay. My name is Pat Del Santo, and I'm the regional superintendent from Kane County. I thought I agree with you, Karen, Senator McConaughey, because today he did get more specific, and I was really gratified to hear that he wants to fund human services and those populations that are at most at risk, as well as the MAP grant for higher ed. I am concerned about a permanent property tax freeze, given the area that I'm from and the reliance of my school districts on the property tax.
Kathy Hines from Crystal Lake District 47, Superintendent. I agree. Property taxes is something that, as you know, people in my area are talking about, but a freeze permanently would injure if there isn't some other mechanism from the state to help us out. But I do like, he talked about human services, he talked about services for all Illinois people, and what we can do to help mental health, as well as police on the street, the first responders, but he also mentioned the quality of our schools several times throughout his address, and it was very reassuring, as many talks are going on about the budget and what we're doing, that he focused primarily a lot on what we're going to do and how we make world-class schools for every student. And I think everybody in the education world wants it for every student.
You know, there's no question that the governor, from the day he walked in this building, has been committed to improving education for all kids in the state. And as you know, not all kids get the same quality education, and so there is a major challenge to find enough dollars to do that, and it can be very, very difficult. Just one other question, because I know you got things to do, and I've got a meeting to get to. But I just want to ask, what else do you think that you want, not just myself, but my other colleagues, to think about here in the Senate? We're working on a bipartisan, what's called a grand bargain, in order to end the stalemate, and we're balancing a lot of balls and trying to take into consideration all the potential impacts. You know, what's your words of wisdom and caution for us as we engage in that the rest of this week and going into next?
I think my words of wisdom would be that whatever you decide on needs to have a basis in fact and can't be something that's just pulled out of the air. For example, in education, there should be an amount of money that is necessary to provide adequate education for our kids, and that should be our baseline. And all students in Illinois should be able to access that number. So that's what I would caution, is that you make sure that whatever funding is available is an adequate amount of funding to provide a quality education for everyone.
I would say, in addition to that, I would take a look at the mandates that have been put on the districts and get rid of ones that are not funded, causing school districts and other municipalities to put money towards things that aren't towards their primary service. That would help a lot.
Thank you, ladies. Good advice. And thank you for everything that you do as leaders in the education community. And your dedication is always inspirational to me and others who are down here trying to make heads or tails out of how do we find enough resources to ensure that every child in the state of Illinois gets a quality education. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And we're back to work. I'm on my way to a meeting to see if maybe we can get a budget. Thank you.